Hey everyone, this is Anthony from OTB Sports with my first round prospects at wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. As things stand at this moment, KC now has 2 picks at the end of the first round of this NFL draft. Trading away Tyreek Hill now provides some options because of the return of a late first from Miami. They're now in possession of back-to-back selections at 29 and at 30. Although there have been a couple of key signings in JuJu Smith-Schuster and also Marquez Valdes-Scantling, wide receiver is still in play. I'm going to give you 5 possible options here. My first wideout KC can get in the first round of the NFL draft is Jameson Williams. Let's go ahead and get the big gun out of the way here. Due to his ACL injury in the college championship game, it is believed that he will fall just a little. I don't expect him to be available at 29, but trading up shouldn't be too outrageous for the asking price. If KC is willing to give up a second or a third along with that 29th pick, then I think getting into the teens is possible. He's a consensus number 1 wide receiver, and the film confirms it. You're talking about home run speed and big playability. At 6'2", he is a threat at each level of the field. I could see his 1,572 yards and 15 total touchdowns translating to the NFL on any roster. Now, the second wide receiver that KC should be looking at is Garrett Wilson. The Ohio State wideout is getting a lot of attention to be the top selected at the position. It's easy to see why. The production is there. He's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons. Wilson is a yak monster who always seems to get open with a lot of grass around. You saw him doing a lot of pre-snap movement. You saw him getting some handoffs while in motion. The athleticism is there and it looks effortless. He's one of those guys that you can't turn off the film once you start watching. The thing I like most is that he looks like a natural football player while having 4.38 speed. Garrett Wilson is 6 foot tall and can be used all around. You'd be getting the type of player that's able to be in the mix right away. His college teammate is the third wideout to keep an eye on at the end of the first round, Chris Olave. That's right. He has about the same speed at 4.39. We all know that the Chiefs like to have fast guys, and it is needed when losing the fastest in Tyreek Hill. Olave can do it all. Route running, contested catches, football IQ. He's more of an outside receiver. The reason that he is third is because his yards after the catch is not eye-opening, but he has had multiple seasons with double-digit touchdowns. That is something that KC has definitely needed for a long time coming. The Chiefs fans will know what I'm talking about here when I say that he catches the ball and he gets north. That is a good quality to have. Moving backwards and dancing around doesn't seem to be a problem with Olave. He's a calculated technician at the wide receiver position who Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid would certainly trust on the field. On to the fourth prospect for the Chiefs. Here we have Penn State's Jahan Dodson. The thing I like most here is that he has worked and gotten better each season. At 5'11" and having a 4.43 speed, he wasn't featured early on in his collegiate career. By the time Dodson was a senior, he was one of the best in the country. This past season, he had 91 receptions, 1,182 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Similar to Garrett Wilson, he seems like the player that Andy Reid would have a lot of fun with because he can move around a lot pre-snap, and he can even get fun and throw the ball with trick plays. The intangibles, such as loving to compete, having fun, and playing with emotions, are things that Chiefs fans would gravitate towards. Now, the fifth wide receiver the Kansas City Chiefs should be looking at drafting in the first round, Treylon Burks. If he were to land in KC, I could see him being used more as a weapon than a traditional wideout. The speed is not quite what you like. he ran a 4.5, and on the film, he even looks slower than that sometimes. That is the only reason why Burks is not higher on this list. The physicality and size could bring something different to the offense. After losing Tyreek, going bigger and more physical wouldn't be so bad. There are some things that you can do with his talent to give Travis Kelce a relief at times. You could also use another red zone target and use a big body for the blocking. Burks stands out to me more than some other big receivers because of his versatility. There are a few players that I did not mention. The fan favorite seems to be Christian Watson, who I do like. The lack of any significant production at a smaller school scares me. His workout numbers, measurables, his highlights all look good. Maybe in the second round I could see him getting drafted because I think there's a big risk factor there. Drake London also is polarizing amongst the Chiefs fans. Some would love him, some not so much. There's the injury concern and things that worked in college that I'm not sure he'd be able to get away with on Sundays. And with that being said, let me run this down one more time. That is from the prospects numbered 1 through 5. 1 was Jameson Williams. 2, Garrett Wilson. 3, Chris Olave. 4, Jahan Dodson. And 5, Treylon Burks. Who needs to be above? Who needs to be below? And who am I just crazy about having on the list at all? Everybody, thanks for listening and tuning in. This is Anthony from OTB Sports. Peace.